What's going on, world? This is your boy B, and welcome to another episode where the truth lives here. And on this episode, we're going to talk about 5 beard washing mistakes that I made. Now, with that said, let's get right into it. When I started my beard journey, I had no idea what was the correct way to cleanse my beard. It was always dry. I was always overcompensating by dumping half a bottle of beard oil onto my beard. It was like juices and berries gone bad. Now, this compounded my beef with dryness and breakage, just because when you're throwing on a whole bunch of oil onto an already dry beard, you're just making it that much more drier, and then you're gonna have more breakage, just like that. Well, eventually, through trial and error, and of course, I was my own guinea pig or guinea veggie, depending on, what you put on your plate. I was always testing until I figured it out what worked for me. So here's the 5 mistakes that I made, so that way you don't have to make it. My first mistake was overwashing my beard. Now, I recommend you guys to wash your beard 1 to 2 times a week, so that way you don't dry your beard out. And I've tested this. I've tested it in Atlanta, I've tested it in LA, I've been to different cities, and I've tested this, and it has worked out for me each and every time. Now, when I lived in LA, I would overwash my beard because of the fact that with LA, it's pollution city. So I was adamant about making sure that my beard was always clean. Now, there are some drawbacks that I had from that. Was my beard was always excessively dry, and as I was saying earlier, then I'll apply beard oil, and it was just this constant cycle that I was just going around. I couldn't figure out how to crack the code. Now, the second mistake that I made was not choosing the right beard wash. My first shampoo that I used on my beard was for the hair. It was Shea Moisture, and I got this in Koreatown on the corner at Ralph's on the corner of Wilshire and Western. So for everyone who's familiar with that spot, that's where I picked up my first wash. Okay, now I didn't pick the right one, but I got something that I thought, due to the fact I saw people cleansing their hair. I'm like, okay, hair on my face, hair on my head, it's the same thing. It's a no-brainer. However, my skin became excessively dry. My beard became stiff. It began to get super brittle. I didn't really like how it felt, and I didn't like how it looked. Now, we have to understand that the shampoo that's being designed is not for our face, the skin underneath our beard. It's for our scalp. And there are reasons for that. One, the scalp on your head is thicker. You have more follicles. You have more sebum oil that's being produced. So you need something that's a little bit more aggressive for that environment. The environment on your face, underneath your beard, is entirely different. You need a beard wash, something that's formulated for the skin underneath your beard, something that is gentle, and you don't need it to be as aggressive, because you don't have the same amount of follicles nor the same amount of oil that's being produced. So it takes a different tool. Okay, all right. So make sure you guys are using a beard wash that is natural, organic, sulfate-free, paraben-free, doesn't have all these nasty chemicals that could be harming you in the long run. Now, I'm not saying that if you do decide not to use a natural, organic, paraben-free, sulfate-free, you're a bad person if you don't use it. I would just highly suggest that would be a better option for you. Okay? All right. Now, the third mistake that I made was, it was a time where I would not lather more than once. Now, in this particular situation, I had product buildup, which I didn't know at the time. So I washed my beard once, And then I start putting product on, but I notice, I'm like, yo, my beard still feels like it has product on it and it's not working out for me. So what I did was, there's 2 rounds. The first round, when you're washing your beard, be mindful. It's going to get rid of the gunk. That's the first round when you wash. When you rinse that out and then you wash again, right? Which is the second round, that round is for cleansing. Now, the only time you should double up like this when you have a compound amount of beard product that's on your beard. That's the only time you should use this particular strategy or tactic. I wouldn't suggest you use it every time you wash your beard unless it's necessary. Only if it's necessary. And you can tell after you wash your beard, it doesn't feel or look cleansed. It still looks like it has product on it. If that's the case, then round 1, wash, and then rinse. Then second round, wash again, and then rinse. Okay. Now, the 4th mistake that I made was washing with the wrong temperature of water. Now, the higher the temperature, it would help to remove dirt, grime, any excess oils from your beard. Now, this is no different if you have food and you're trying to soak the pot, because the food is at the bottom of the pot and it won't come off. So it's the same type of concept when using a higher temperature of water when you are cleansing your beard. Now, the only caveat to that is that the higher the temperature, the more probability that your beard is going to be drier, because that hot temperature, that water is going to strip the natural oils that your body is producing, causing excessive dryness. And then you have that problem. And we know, okay, great. Higher temperatures, hot temperatures, yes, it dissolves dirt, but it will also cause your beard to be weakened and you're gonna lose its strength. What can you do? Split it down the middle. Use lukewarm water to wash your beard. And then when you rinse the wash off, use cold water, because cold water is going to help with retaining the moisture. You don't want to break the hair down because the water is just too hot. All right, so be mindful. Lukewarm to wash, cold water to rinse. My 5th mistake that I made was not using a moisturizing beard wash. What we have to recognize and understand, which I've shared this before, is our hair, our texture type of our hair has a higher propensity of being dry, breakage, brittle. And so you want to use a moisturizing beard wash in your routine. You don't want to use a wash that is not there to add value to your beard in terms of keeping the beard fortified, strong, and looking and feeling fresh. Okay, so be mindful of that when you are using a non-moisturizing beard wash. Now, your wash should be a moisturizing wash. Then you have a hydrator, which moisturizing and hydrator are 2 different things, and I did a video on that, so you guys go watch that video. And then also, everything else in your routine should be there to help with moisturizing and hydrating, period. If it's not adding that to your beard at some point in your beard care routine, in the steps, then you may want to rethink that. Okay. All right, so listen, don't forget to watch our most recent episode. All right, go check that out right now. And then look forward to our next episode on this particular channel. Okay, this is your boy B. As always, I'm out.